Hey everybody. I think we're live here in our Business Builders group. And thank you for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just waiting just a couple seconds to make sure that we are live. Hopefully I'll have at least one person that is able to hop on with me here today. Give me a little bit of feedback. So I am here today to share with you some tips on doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which is going live on Facebook. So I know a lot of people have a lot of fear about going live, but I don't. I've probably made close to 1,000 live videos on Facebook and a lot of YouTube videos. Before live was a thing, I did a lot of videos. So anyway, I'm just gonna jump right in because I don't want this to drag on and on and on. So if you're watching the replay, type in replay down below so I can say hi to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, say hello to me down in the comments. Thank you for watching. So my name is Liz Pevytoe. If you don't know me, most of you in this group don't know me. I am a registered nurse of 25 years. I became burned out about 8 years ago when I was coming up on my 20th year in nursing. I became really burned out and was introduced to network marketing and was able to semi-retire from nursing about 7 years ago. So I'm still active with my nursing license. I usually work a couple of months a year as a registered nurse. So my background is not in, marketing. My background is definitely as a nurse. I have taught prenatal classes for most of my career in nursing, and I've also taught peer-to-peer classes. So I'm not afraid of getting up and talking in front of people. I was actually student body vice president in high school. Public speaking has never scared me, but videos are a totally different beast. And one of the reasons I really love video is because, believe it or not, even though I play an extrovert on video, I am an introvert, and I prefer video over going and like meeting people one-on-one or doing classes or any of that kind of thing to help build my business. I built my previous network marketing company that I was with. I built my team to over 1,500 people, 100% on Facebook. So I really, really love live video because you can go on. I'm in my spare bedroom all by myself here, but I'm talking to you. And then I will be able to upload this video onto YouTube, and it will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It will just keep giving to people. I'll be able to keep teaching people, keep reaching people, and keep making connections with people. So the question is, why should you do live video? And I just answered it right there. Because live video gives you the opportunity to interact with people one-on-one within the group or on your page, or if you go live on YouTube or live on Instagram, live on LinkedIn, they all have the options of going live now. You get to interact with people, and we all know that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So it gives people an opportunity to have a conversation with you, even though it's maybe not face-to-face. They can comment, ask their questions, and you can interact with them, and they can learn from you, learn about you, and learn from you. So let's just get going. So why lives? Because they will help you grow your business. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 main tips, and within those 5 tips I'm going to give you 767,000 sub tips. Okay, not really, but probably pretty close. So I do encourage you to get your notepad out, take notes, pretend that you have spent $100 to take this course, because I guarantee you, if you take these tips to heart and you implement some of these tips, it's going to help you grow your business. And how valuable is that? Just like when Jessalyn taught her class about a week and a half ago on the 10 things to do every day, I took 3 pages of notes. I've got my notepad right behind me here with my notes for today's live, but I can show you. Here is her 10 steps, and I took 3 pages of notes. So I keep all my business stuff in one little notepad. I'm old school, so I like to write things down, but I've got my notes for my live sitting right behind me. And let me see if I can get it to stand up the way it was before. Give me just 1 second. Of course, I shouldn't have moved it. I poked the bear. Okay, so I'm going to give you, like I said, give you 5 tips, but within those 5 tips, there's going to be sub-tips. Alrighty. So number 1 tip is just do it. You're going to be scared the first 20 to 30 times you go live. That's just how it is because it's something new, and most people have the fear of public speaking more than the fear of death. And so most people are going to be morbidly afraid. Okay. You just have to do it scared. That's just the bottom line. You have to do it scared. And let me give you a tip that's really going to help you get past your fear of going live. Okay. And I want you definitely to write this down. I want you to write these words down. It's not about me. It's about my message. Okay? I learned this when I was in high school. I had a really bad case of stage fright, and I happened to be on accepted into a very specialty ensemble singing group. And so we had to go around, I went to a private Christian school, and we went to different churches and sang for churches. And so it was a problem that I was having a big fear of going up on stage, okay? Well, the leader, the teacher that was, the choir director, I guess, that was doing over our ensemble, he sat me down and he said, quit making this about you, Liz. This is about your gift that God gave you, and it's about ministering to other people. Stop making it about you. And it totally just released me from the fear and the anxiety, like, oh my gosh, it's not about me. It's about ministering to people. So if you have a message that you can share with people that's going to help them, or it's going to educate them, or it's going to make them laugh, or it's going to inspire curiosity, or like I follow JP Sears, and I love him because he awakens people's thought process in a sarcastic way that's really fun. So whatever it is that you have to, the message you have to deliver, just remember it's not about me, okay? So let's jump in now to tip number 2, and that's getting organized for your lives. I'm going to try to cram as much information into this training for you. So it may feel a little bit like I'm going here, there, and everywhere. And it's because I am, because Jessalyn tried to ask me to try to just fit as much stuff into this live that I can. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so getting organized. So you're going to ask yourself a couple of questions when you're getting ready to go live. The first question is, where am I going live? Second question is, what am I going to talk about? And the third question is, when am I going to do it? Okay, so let's talk about each of those things. The first question is where. So it could be anywhere that you are. So let's say it's in your home. You want to try to find a place that's kind of aesthetically pleasing. So I'm kind of in between moving my office right now. So I just picked my spare bedroom for this live. And so I kind of just staged things behind me and around me that identify with my brand. Okay. So, and that's important that you're kind of cohesive with your brand. Okay, and what does that mean? That means don't go live if you're wanting to talk to people and you're wanting to build a brand of building wealth. Don't go live with a disgustingly dirty kitchen or kids screaming and playing in the. You want to emit, or that's not the right word. You want to show people the type of life that they want. So some of the things that are part of my brand are holistic health, because like I said, I'm a registered nurse, so I'm very into holistic health. I don't sell any kind of holistic health products. I used to, but I don't anymore. So like some of the things I've got going on in the background right now are intentional. I have a essential oils diffuser. I don't sell essential oils, but that is part of my brand, that holistic health. I've also got a salt lamp over here. I've got a traveling map over here. So things, you know, my house is old. You can tell by the size of my windows, but it looks clean, it's neat, and it's not too distracting. That diffuser might be a tad distracting. I might not use that next time, but it's just some of the things that you're going to think about, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and skip. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not going to skip. I'm gonna stay on track because that's what I'm here to do today, is help y'all. Okay, so where? It can be in your home. Outside is a great option as long as there's not a ton of street traffic, like cars going by, lots of cars going by and lots of street noise. I did a live one time outside and there was a really annoying bird that people were like, oh my God, that bird is so loud. So, pay attention to those kind of things. Just like, is it pretty? Make sure there's not dogs peeing in the background or whatever. Okay, so outside is good. I go live a lot in my car. So if you're gonna go live in your car, just make sure that, it's clean. It's not disgusting. All right. So that answered where, but let's also talk about, when we're talking about where, let's talk about a few little housekeeping things. So you want to make sure that you have good internet service. So is your Wi-Fi on? Are you getting good reception? You want to talk about lighting. Natural lighting is great. I've got a dome light that's sitting above my camera right now that I bought for super cheap on Amazon. I'm actually going to reach up and I'm going to turn it off, and I hope that it turns back on properly. But I want to show you what it looks like without a light. Just a second. Hold on. Okay, wait. So this is without a light. So it's way too dark, right? So I'm going to turn my light back on. You better work. Listen to me. You better work. Sometimes when you mess with stuff, it screws it all up. Okay, so anyway. All right, so Wi-Fi. And now let's talk, those are just the basics. You have to need a stand for your phone. When I first started doing lives, I literally used a little frame stand. Okay, and so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. The stand that I use most of the time, and I am not going to take my phone off the stand, because if I take it off the stand to show y'all, I'm 99.9% sure I will not be able to get it back on straight because it took forever. So anyway, there's tons of stands on Amazon. Just go look for one that has a great review, okay? And play around with it. All right, so now let's move on to what are you going to talk about? And before I talk about what are you going to talk about, I want to talk about being you. So don't feel like you have to be somebody else in order to go live. I have a certain quirky personality, as you can tell. And I don't hide that. I just pretend that I am talking to one of my friends whenever I'm doing this live video. That's how people feel like they get to know me, they like me, they trust me, because I'm just me. I'm quirky, I'm weird, I'm sometimes funny, but sometimes I'm not funny, and that's okay, but I'm just me. I don't try to be somebody else. When weird things happen, like my daughter got home just a few minutes ago, and I was really worried that she was going to walk in here while I was going live because I forgot to tell her that I was. And that's okay. Things happen. You just say, oh my gosh, I'm going live. Thanks a lot for interrupting me. Very professional. So people like to see mistakes. I was going live one time about a very important topic, and I realized that I had a huge chunk of food in my tooth, and I was like halfway through it, and I was like, oh, thank y'all for telling me about the food in my teeth. So you're not a news broadcaster trying to have a professional job going live on video. You're just sharing your topic with people. So be you, be real. Don't try to be somebody else. Be authentic, but be the best version of yourself. And I am going to talk more about how to become the best version of yourself and what to do before lives to help you rock them out in just a minute, okay? So I'm actually going to move my paper because my phone is blocking it. So let me see if I can get it to stand up down here. So now, see, this is another thing. Like that, now I just tell people what you're doing. I've got my notes on this notepad, so now I'm going to be looking down. I'm not having a seizure. Don't worry about it, okay? So let's talk about what to talk about. So remember to be you. My paper is not going to cooperate, and I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, so I know that this Business Builders group is all about cryptocurrency, but I want you to definitely write this tip down. Please don't go live, and every single time you go live for it to be about cryptocurrency. It's like don't do it, okay? So here's the thing. Go live. Thank you, Dana. Go live about what interests you. What are you passionate about? What are you interested in? That is your brand. So like for me, like I said, I'm a nurse, so I go live about a lot of wellness tips. Like today, actually it wasn't a live, but like I posted about how to make, toxin-free cleaner. I did that in my stories. I'm very, very passionate about patient advocacy and medical freedom, and so I post a lot about that, and I go live a lot about that. I go live a lot about that topic. It did not sound right when it was coming out. Anyway, don't be scared to go live and to be honest and open and upfront about politics, about religion, about medical stuff, about tyranny, whatever it is you're passionate about. Go live about it, share about it, be authentically you. Remember, people are going to want to join with you, with people that they know, they like, and they trust. So in other words, but that goes both ways. I want to do business with people that I am what the Bible calls yoked with. In other words, I want to be authentically me, so people know exactly what they're getting into when they partner with me. So I love to cook, so I go live about cooking sometimes. I love the Lord, and so I go live about scriptures or things that he has encouraged me in that I want to encourage other people in. I go live on rants about stupid things that are happening within my community about wearing a mask or the vaccine or whatever. I have very strong opinions about things, and when I feel passionate about something, I'm going to go live about it, because that's a way that I can get my message out to people and get it to more people doing it that way. So what are you interested in? I would love for you, if you've never gone live before, you're thinking about going live more, I would like for you to think of 5 different topics of things that you could talk about without having to prepare for it. Whether it be gardening or caring for your dogs or organizing. I need you to go live about organizing. I need help. Or cleaning the house. I need help with that. I need a lot of help with that. So things that you're really good at, things that you can teach someone very easily, that's, go live to teach something, to encourage someone, to rant about something. Keep those things in mind. My chair is squeaking and it's distracting me. So anyway, rabbit. Okay, so when should you go live? There's 2 different times that you should go live. Number 1 is just go live whenever you are at your peak. So I told Jocelyn, when she asked me what time I wanted to go live, I told her early to mid-afternoon is my golden time. Like, that's when I am at my peak. I'm not a morning person, so mornings are off the table. In evenings, I start to get a little bit tired. I'm almost 50. I have like a window of 2 to 3 hours that I'm at my peak, but I feel sorry for myself. No, I really don't. So that's a good time to go live. Another time to go live is when you get really, really passionate or inspired about something. If something is just hitting you, like the other day, I got so overwhelmed and excited about something that the Lord had put on my heart that I was literally driving down the highway, and I pulled off the highway into a parking lot and went live right then. No notes, no nothing. I was not, but it turned out to be a really great live, and a lot of people shared it because I was able to really impart my excitement in the live because I didn't hesitate. Okay, that's what a lot of you do, is you think, oh, that would be a good live, and then you don't do it. So do it, just do it. Okay, so some more organizational tips that I do is I tend to write down or script my lives on a piece of paper. It's my normal routine. I usually script it on a piece of paper, like all my thoughts, and just kind of go through it. And then I write my bullet notes on this was more. Most of my lives I do under 10 minutes. But this one I knew was going to be at least 30 minutes long, teaching you guys all these tips and tricks. So I didn't I didn't move it on over to a note card. The reason I like note cards is because I can put all my bullet points on a note card, and then I can stick it right in front of my what's this called? Smartphone. And y'all can't even see it. It's like magic. And I've got my notes there, and then if I move them over a little bit, right under my camera, I can be looking at my note card, and it looks like I'm looking at you. It's just, it's magical. You're welcome. So note cards work great. Notes on your phone won't work because, well, you can write the notes down, but then you need to put it on a notepad because you can't access your notes while you're on a live. Okay, so I jot everything down in a notepad like this. I also have created, this is a really, really good tip. This is a good one, y'all. Write it down. I created a group on Facebook that I call Testy. It's very creative. Y'all can steal it if you want to. And it's a private group with just me in it. And what I do is when I'm on the road and I don't have my notebook with me or whatever, I'll go jot down ideas for lives or ideas for graphics or just ideas in general. I'll go jot them down as a post within my Testy group. And this is actually tip number 3, your practice group. And then here's another one. I go live in my practice group, especially when I am testing out a new background like this one. I go live to see what the lighting looks. I play with the lighting on my live. I move things around. And that's actually the bedside table that is usually way over here. But I noticed that it just looked like it needed something there. So during that test live that I did earlier today, I was able to play with my backdrop. I've moved my salt lamp. I've arranged the curtains a little differently. I moved that table over to where it looked cute. So those are all things that I did in the test live that just I could see it. And then I pushed finish on the live. And then I just realized I'm not going over the steps of like how to actually start. Maybe I should do that real quick. I guess I was assuming y'all knew how to actually like push the buttons to start. So anyway, within the practice group, that's pretty much it. So create a practice group where you can practice things, where you can jot your notes down, okay? So now let me really quickly just go over the technical aspects of actually starting a live and finishing a live. So when you're on your Facebook timeline or within a group, you just go to write a post. It'll say write a post, and you put your title in. Super duper important. A lot of people go live and they don't have a title, and I'm like, what am I watching? I'm not going to click on this and watch. I don't even know what you're talking about. So make sure you tell people what you're going to be talking about in your description. Don't go overboard with 16 paragraphs. Try to get something that's kind of catchy. And that's going to grab their attention. And then that's your title. And then underneath there, it'll say live. And you want to make sure whenever you go live that you go live with your phone in the horizontal position, not in the vertical. So if this is your smartphone, go live with it in this position, not in this position. Now, if you're on an iPad, you leave it in this position, because if you turn your iPad to this position, you're going to be sideways on your live. And that's not cool. So your phone is in this position, not in this position. Why is that important? Because when and if you upload your video to YouTube, if you put your phone in this position, it's going to have a black screen around it, and that just looks ugly. Don't do it. So your phone is in this position. You have your title there, and then there's a button that says go live. It's very complicated. No, that's pretty much it. And so then there's a bunch of little technical buttons down in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm not going to go over all of those. You can go to YouTube and look at all the different options as far as filters go and all the different things you can do down in the left-hand corner. I don't have time to go into all that. So then when you're finished with your live, you're going to click the finish button down in the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm not going to do that right now. But when you do that, then it's going to give you an option to save it on your phone, which I absolutely positively encourage you to do. That way, if something quirky happens with Facebook, you have it on your cloud. And then you upload. It'll upload it to your page or your group. Okay, so that's that. I'm glad we talked about that. Okay. So, let me have a drink of water. Are y'all enjoying this? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So, we've got 2 more points to go. Okay, so let's talk about, it's go time. Now what are we gonna do? It's go time. It's time to go live. So the very first thing I do before I go live is, like I said, I've practiced. I've got my setup going. I know my lighting's gonna be good. I know my background looks good. If you don't have a pretty place to go, something I should have said earlier, you can buy a backdrop, or you can use an old sheet that you've hung up, or whatever. Shower curtain, whatever. Be creative. Okay, so the first thing I do is I increase my energy, and I actually have a system of things that I do personally. You're welcome to copy me if you want to. The first thing I do is I drink a lot of, or some water, not a whole lot of water, because I don't want to have to go pee right in the middle of my live, but water will help energize me. I try not to eat for 2 to 3 hours before a live, because who wants gastrointestinal upset while you're on your live? Number 1. Number 2, I want my body to be focused on brain power, not digesting my food during a live. So that's just something I do. I try not to eat or drink eat for 2 to 3 hours before a live. And then the last time I ate today was actually 5 hours ago, and that's okay. I'm hungry, but it's keeping me motivated. Okay, so that's first thing. Second thing is I increase my energy. And there's several ways you can do this. My favorite way is to listen to music and to dance. So I have a playlist on my phone that's actually my workout playlist. It gets me all pumped up. So I turn on that, I put my earbuds in, I turn on the music really loud, and I dance like a crazy person, okay? Because we all have, everybody is on a frequency or vibration or energy level, and I want to be at my peak whenever I go live, because my brain's going to be operating at full capacity. I'm just at my very best. I don't ever go live whenever I feel terrible. I have Lyme disease, if you don't know me. So there are days when I don't feel well enough to go live, and that's okay. Those are usually the days that I do my planning and brainstorming or whatever. But on the days that I do feel good, I can actually increase that energy level by dancing, using some essential oils, drinking the water, going outside into nature. Another method that I love, I actually just talked about it a few days ago on my Facebook page. If you want to go back and look at a live video from a couple days ago, I talk about the answer. You have the answer to your problem right now. I talk about a method that I use called the ABC break method, and I love to use that right before I go live because it helps put me in the right space, okay? It is just a mental exercise that you do to get you into a great mental space, okay? And then there's a saying that I usually try to remember to say out loud. We have the power of life and death in our tongue, and so our words are super powerful. So I command my subconscious with this statement. It's a Tony Robbins statement if you want to write that down and go Google it later. But the statement, I have it actually written behind my camera here, and I say it almost every time. It says, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me to help as many people as possible today. To help as many people as possible today to better their lives by giving me the strength, the emotion, the humor, the brevity, whatever it takes to show these people and get these people to change their life now. So I screwed it up a little bit somewhere up in there. I don't remember. But anyway, that's giving my subconscious mind a command to, it's time to rock and roll. It's time to go. Okay. So do something like that. It works really well. Okay. If you have not gone live a whole lot, one of the biggest temptations you're going to have is to be looking at yourself while you're talking. And you want to be looking at your camera on your phone, not yourself, because you want people to feel like you're looking at them whenever you talk. So a really easy hack is just to get a sticky note and cover up the screen. So the only disadvantage to that is you usually will not be able to see people's questions when you cover up the screen, but it's better than looking at yourself the whole time and you want to be looking at the camera, okay? Definitely want to engage with people. When people come on and they make comments and they talk, they ask questions, there's a fine line here. You want to say, thank you for that question. I'll answer it in a minute. If you're one that gets easily distracted and off topic, you can say something like that, or you can go ahead and address their comment or question right then. But it's really important. People will not stay on a live if they're commenting and you're ignoring them. They're not going to stick around because they don't feel important. Okay. The next thing you really want to this is probably the most important thing you can do on a live, and most people don't do it. That is give people instructions. Tell them what to do that will help increase your participation, and it'll help algorithms. The more people comment, the more videos will get seen. It won't really matter in a group like this, but if I was going live on my timeline, I would be asking people to be typing stuff in the comments down below. I would be saying, oh my gosh, if you're afraid to go live yourself, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you've never gone live and you are scared, give me a thumbs up in the comments down below, or whatever. You also want to direct people to your other content. So if you have content on a subject, just like I told you guys to go check out my timeline for the ABC break method, I wanted you to see that. So direct people what to do. If you are trying to sell something, do not leave out your call to action. What is a call to action? It's telling people what to do. What are the next steps? If you'd like more information about what I'm talking about, comment down below and I'll get with you, or send me a private message so we can talk about this more. So tell people what the next step is, okay? The next tip when you go live is actually after you go live, after you hit the finish button, I want you to become your biggest fan. And what do I mean by that is share, share, share. So I'll give you an example. I made a post today. It wasn't a live post, but the same thing goes for typed posts on Facebook, okay? I made a post. You can go check out my timeline. See, I'm telling you what to do there. On the post I did before this post, and it was a post that really got me all in the feels. It got me all in the feels, and it was a screenshot of something Rob Schneider had said. And what I did was I went and I shared it into 2 large groups that I'm a part of like-minded people that I knew would really love that content. And guess what? Before I started this live right here, it's been shared over 30 times. At that time, it had been shared over 30 times. It was probably way more than that, because there are tens of thousands of people in that group, and I knew that they would go share the content. Okay, so here's an example of an interruption that can become very valuable during a live. So my dog is scratching on the door, and it's distracting me. Come on. And so here's what you do. Oh, she went under the bed. She's not being very cooperative. Okay, so when she comes out in a minute, I'm going to pick her up and I'm going to show you. And so if that had happened during a regular live, I would just say, my dog's interrupting me, y'all. Who wants to see Petunia? Come here, Tunes. Come here. Watch this. You want a treat? Here's a treat. Let me rustle some papers. You want a treat? Yeah, she came out. Come here. Come here. I tricked her. But here's my dog, Petunia. Okay, so thing is people are gonna like me more in a video when I'm just honest and I'm just like, I introduce them to my dog. Who wouldn't like her? She's cute. She's cute as pie. So now my door's open. See what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect. Quit thinking that you have to create this perfect scenario in order to go live. Just be you. Live your life. Live your life. Okay. So back to sharing. So why is it important to share? Because it increases your visibility. It also expands your audience. That was not something about cryptocurrency, okay? But it was about people who I will get along with, who speak my language, who now will probably click the follow button on my page, stalk me, maybe send me a friend request. I only have 3 friend openings right now. only have. But it increases my audience, increases my reach, okay? So when you have a post that's valuable, that you have created something that adds value, solves a problem, encourages, makes people laugh, whatever, it's a really good post. Hey, and you're not selling something, go share it into those groups, okay? If you're selling something, don't share it. Don't do it, because people don't like to be spammed. Don't share it into groups. If you want to share it to people privately via Messenger, you can do that. But share those value posts that we talked about earlier. What are you interested in? Is it a cooking post? Is it a gardening post? Then go share it into gardening groups. Is it a cooking post? Maybe you used your air fryer to make something amazing. Go share it in the air fryer groups. See what I'm saying? It increases your reach because you're adding value. You're giving to people. It's that giving and receiving wheel. In order to receive, you have to give. It's part of it. Giving and receiving go hand in hand. So if you want to receive more abundance, then you give more abundance. You give to people. Okay? That was extra. You're welcome. Okay. Share, share, share. Share. Somebody type that in the comments down below. Share, share, share. Okay. So tip number 5, we are almost finished. Are y'all tired of me yet? Are you sick of me? Okay. These are pro tips. That's what I've written down. Pro tips. Okay. Okay. If you're really scared of going live, one of the really easy, it's not the right word. Simple. One of the simple things you can do is interview people. You can interview people on Facebook without using any kind of programs or anything. You have the option, there's a little in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm looking at it right now, that there's 2 people. You can click on that and invite people in, or if somebody's watching you and they want to be invited in as a participant on your live, you can do that. If somebody has the guts that's watching this right now, if you have the guts, I double dog dare you to hit that button and we can show people what it looks like. I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but let's see if anybody has the guts. Okay. But interviews are a great way to go live because it takes the pressure off of yourself. Just make sure you write really good questions to ask somebody. So if you find somebody who knows more about something than you do, and ask them if they would be willing to go live with you. And the cool thing about doing an interview is they usually promote it as well as you promoting it. And so then you get access to their friends list or their audience. So it's really cool. I love doing interviews. I love it. Okay, another pro tip is, I already mentioned this earlier, but if you're consistently going live and consistently adding value, I think it's a really wonderful thing to repurpose your videos. So you're going to download them and upload them to either YouTube or another Vimeo or whatever. And that way they are alive on that platform 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because the quirky thing about going live on Facebook is they don't have, Facebook is not the best search engine. So unless your video gets shared a bajillion times, it's really only gonna be circulating on Facebook for about 24 to 48 hours, okay? So getting it put over on, that was real good English, Liz, getting put over there on the YouTubes will help it to have a longer shelf life, okay? Also, sharing your live video to your story is a really cool thing. I usually wait 3 to 4 days after my lives, and then I'll just go to my video and click the share button, and there's an option to share to your story. You want to make sure you have every live video set to public, so that way it can be shared easily. Now, if you go live within a group, that doesn't apply, but I'm talking about lives on your timeline. Okay. I already talked about ideas on your phone. I already talked about share, share, share. Oh my gosh. Now Casey's going to jump up on the bed and be rude. Thanks a lot. You're trying to steal my sunshine. It's not nice of you. Okay, so that's all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this training, please check out my YouTube channel. It's on my name, Liz Pevytoe. I have lots of other videos with tips on going live. I actually have a course that I created on going live, which I'll be honest with you, I covered 75% of what I charge people for in my course just now. It's a little more organized in my course than this was, but it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have the guts to go live. If you would like to tag me when you do go live, I'd be happy to give you some encouragement and give you some tips on anything that I feel like how you could improve. I'm not mean, I promise. I promise I'm not mean. So thank you, Jessalyn, for this opportunity to share some of my tips with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you live really soon. Bye-bye.